right, you lovely math students. We are going to finish up lesson 7 with this video. Your work should be completed, and I'd hope that you are just checking your answers and correcting any mistakes so that you perform as well as you can on your test tomorrow. So pause and work them if you haven't already, and then we'll go through them and check. Sorry about that. That's not what I wanted. So in number 1 here, we first have to identify what kind of angle relationship we've got. So we've got this 148 degree angle, and we know this x plus 8 angle. And those together make this line or angle. It's a straight angle. These two angles are supplementary. That means they add up to, that's right, 180 degrees. So 148 plus x plus 8 equals 180 degrees. We want to combine our like terms. 148 plus 8 is 156 plus x ought to equal 180. Then subtract 156 on both sides and you will know x. So 24 degrees. Now x doesn't solve for the angle, it solves for x. In order to know the measurement of this angle, we'd have to substitute in the 24 and add 8. So this is a 32 degree angle. The value of x is 24 degrees. Try the next one along those same lines. The relationship between the angles in number 2 is a complementary angle relationship. The angle labeled x plus 10 and 64 make a right angle. So they have to add up to 90 degrees. So 64 plus x plus 10 ought to equal 90. Now you need to solve for x. So in number 2 we have a complementary angle. These angles have to add up to 90 degrees. 64 and 10 make 74. X plus 74 equals 90. When you subtract 74 on both sides, x has to equal 16. Substitute the 16 in for x, and this angle's got to be 26 degrees. On to number 3. The two angles in number 3 are vertical angles. Vertical angles are equal, so our equation would be 60 equals 4x. Now you need to solve for x. In order to solve for x, you've got to divide by 4 on both sides. We got to do the opposite of multiplication, which is division, which now we have 15 degrees equals x. So when we come back over here and substitute in 15 degrees, we know that this angle would be 60 degrees, and vertical angles are equal, so that works out just perfect. Okay, we've got a couple more to try. These actually deal with the shapes. So you have to remember that a triangle, the angles in a triangle should add up to, how many? You're right, 180 degrees. So this one's going to be 40, if I get a pen, 40 plus 25 plus b ought to equal 180. The quadrilateral, you'll remember, the total should be 360. So b plus 148 plus 59 plus, oh, what's that symbol stand for? Even though there's not a number there, you've got to know what that symbol represents. That symbol represents a right angle, a 90 degree angle. So we add in 90, and I'll put it down here, that ought to equal 360. Now those equations need to be solved. For number 4, when all of them add up to 180, you combine the like terms and get 65. Then subtract 65 on both sides, you'll find that b is 115 degrees. For the quadrilateral, all of the angles should add up to 360. Combine the like terms, you get 297. So b plus 297 ought to equal 360. To figure out b, we've got to subtract 297 from both sides, which leaves us with 63 degrees equals b. Okay, we're about to have this done. Try 6, 7, and 8, and we'll come back and check those as well. Looking at number 6, all of the angles add up to 180 degrees. When you combine 49, 47, and 35, you get 131. To get the x by itself, we've got to get rid of the 131. So we subtract 131 on both sides, and x equals 49. Now the actual value of the angle, you'd have to substitute in 49 for the x. And 49 plus 49 would be 98. This is a 98-degree angle. You could check that by adding 35, 95, and 47 and get that 180 degrees. The next one was a quadrilateral. It has to add up to 360 degrees. I worked through and combined my like terms to get 325 plus x equals 360. To get the x by itself, you have to subtract 325 on both sides, and you find out that x equals 35, which is interesting because now 35 plus 3 equals 38, and you'll notice that these angles are equal. You'll also notice that the other opposite angles are equal. That is true of a parallelogram. The opposite angles in a parallelogram are equal. All right, last one, number 8. Try it on your own and then check your work. All righty, the sum of the angles must add up to 360 degrees. I got all my like terms combined and I ended up with 310 plus x equals 360 degrees. Subtracted 310 on each side, so x has to equal 50 degrees. Substitute the value of 50 in for x, and 50 plus 2 gives me an angle value of 52 degrees. Alrighty, thanks for watching. Why don't you draw a big old smiley face on your paper? Be proud of yourself. You watched the whole thing. That's your secret. One big smiley face. Good luck on your test tomorrow. I really hope you do well.